Forget everything you've heard about graphic design because I won't try to sell you a dream or sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna tell you how it really is. And most importantly, give you a complete step-by-step guide on how to become a graphic designer in 2024, starting from your first sketch to a full-time job. Obviously, it's impossible to cover everything in one video. That's why we're only gonna cover the essential topics. If you want more details, stay tuned for more content where we would go deep on every point being discussed today. This is Top Creates, let's get into it. The first step, education. Everything starts with the education, and this is no exception. Basically, it can diverge into two ways. Way number one, getting a degree at the university. In simpler words, once you finish your education, you will be ready to start your career with a full set of skills. Let's see the pros. You get a complete education including knowing history of art, drawing, obviously Photoshop and Illustrator, and many more, which help a lot in graphic design. Secondly, community. Since you are in the industry, there are lots of people who can help you and guide you. Additionally, give you opportunities like freelance gigs and etc. As anything, it has cons, which are price. Getting university degree could be very expensive, especially if you don't have any scholarship, and time, at least a couple of years. So if you want to earn money now, it simply won't work for you. The second way is learning graphic design yourself, or with online courses like Udemy or Coursera. The positive side of that is you save time. You can learn the essential skills in a couple of months, depending on your learning speed. And secondly, it's cheap. Most of the courses, especially on Udemy, cost up to $20 on discounts, which happens all the time, or you can do it completely for free if you do it on YouTube. The negative side of it is that while you get the practical skills, the lack of theoretical knowledge and design thinking will always drag you down. You won't have the same network as you would in college, unless you are a very proactive person that goes to networking events all the time. This unfortunately will drag you down a lot, since, there are questions that only a fellow designer can help you with. The second step, building your portfolio. Now that you acquired the skills, it's time you start building a solid portfolio. A portfolio that you would show to your potential clients and employers. For those who don't know what portfolio is, it's essentially the professional identity of the designer, which showcases your best work. This factor is extremely important because it's the first thing clients and employers ask when considering a designer. Let me show you 4 the most essential factors. First, quality over quantity. You really want to showcase only the best work, because if you put dozens of projects, it would only overwhelm. I would recommend adding up to 5 or 6 projects. Secondly, clear structure. Your portfolio should be easy to navigate, again, not to overwhelm. 3. Showcase of versatility. Whether you are a niche-based or generalist graphic designer, showing versatility is always great because it gives a sense that you can handle different design challenges. Relevance. I believe it's self-explanatory. You don't want to show your old work because it might not reflect your current skill set. As for websites where you can post your work, it can be either your own website or platforms like Behance or Dribbble. The final step, getting job opportunities. Once you got your portfolio ready, let's dive into graphic design job market. You can either choose to work as a freelancer, where you're given a design task in exchange for money, or in-house graphic designer, where you work at the company doing various tasks, or in other words, your regular 9 to 5. Both of them have their pros and cons. When it comes to a freelancer, you get the freedom to work anywhere and anytime as long as you meet the deadlines. You get to choose the amount of money you want to be paid for your work. And thirdly, creative freedom. Unlike working at the company where a certain style must be taken into account all the time, you choose the style that you want. As for the cons, it's quite unstable. As life happens, you won't be able to secure deals all the time, and if you have bills to pay, this is a crucial factor to consider. And you gotta market your services heavily. Business operations. You'll be handling all aspects of business, including invoicing, taxes, contracts, and payment. For some, it could be too much if you're just starting. Isolation. Depending on your lifestyle, you might find yourself isolated, working at home all the time, and you might get the feeling like the time is running out. To get freelance work, I would recommend going to networking events and offer your services over there. You could also register on freelance websites, but the competition is very high and you gotta stand out. When it comes to being an in-house designer, as for positives, you get the stability, since you will always get paid according to your contract. Secondly, constant learning. Especially if you work among other designers, you get to learn something new every day. And thirdly, company benefits like health insurance, discounts, paid leave, and etc. Obviously, it depends on the company, but usually in big companies they offer something like that. As for negatives, less creative freedom, as you gotta follow company's design guidelines. Secondly, routine work. Third, less flexibility, as you gotta come to the office all the time, unless you're working remotely. 4. Co-workers. If you're lucky, you might get good colleagues, but if not, it could range from bad to nightmare working experiences, so be careful. Generally, to get a job, it's better to apply for them on LinkedIn or other websites that are relevant in your country. And here you go. This is your guide on how to become a graphic designer. If you disagree with the video or you got your own recommendations, leave your comments down below. I would love a healthy discussion. If you think that this video is useful, like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.